while she was going that way, I was following him. But I noticed a tall white man was at the tabulators. The actual tabulators were sitting in a middle aisle. He was at the tabulator, and this caught my eye, then following the man, which I did follow him for some time, and I told one of my lady friends to go follow him. So that would be Linda Sawyer. She followed him. When I saw the tabulator, the man was spraying his chemical all up in there, just spraying, spraying, spraying. We don't know what it was. It had a long straw on it, like WD-40 stuff you would spray that puts the stem on it. He was just spraying all in the tabulator.
He was spraying on the screen?
Spraying inside of it. You lift the roller up where you feed the ballots through. It was open, and he was spraying stuff all up in there. Then he peeled off. He looked up in the part where you read, where the ballot reads. So the ballot numbers are usually right here, the barcodes, and you put it in like this. Well, in that part of the machine, he went in there, and I saw him dig out and pull off white. It looked like correction tape. Well, it was correction tape, because not only I witnessed him walking around with this correction tape, but a lot of other people did as well, and they took notes.
So can you explain the significance of that? What happens if somebody has correction tape on a ballot and then he goes and removes it? What do you think's going on there?
Well, actually, it wasn't on the ballot. It was inside of the tabulator. So that means if you put the ballot through, it won't read anything, and you can override and push yes, I'm overriding.
So this is just like a strip of paper you can use to mess with the machine?
It was a whole strip of white correction tape that I saw him place back in that same area after he peeled it out, because the ballots were getting jammed. The ballots that he had in his hands had 50 stack of them, and they had no numbers at the top.
So how would I'm curious about how a tabulating machine would even read that ballot if there's no numbers on it.
Well, I would assume that it doesn't read it, and that you can go in the system and, like I said, put down this is a blue ticket, or this is a red ticket, or this is an independent ticket. And it was a pile of 50, and the man put them in, and I would count them as they go in. Shoom. So I count 1, 2. I would do like this, 3, 4, 5. I would keep counting. It would be 27 that would go through, and the rest would get stuck. Guess what he would do? Continue to put those same 27 in, instead of putting those 27 to the side that was red already, and put the remaining ones in that would equal up to 50. He did not do that. Instead, he put that same amount in over 10 times.
He put the same ballots in 10 times.
Over 10 times.
So the machine doesn't have a way to know whether the same ballot or barcode or number or whatever has already been put in?
How? You covered the sensor. You covered the reader. The reader was covered for a fact, because he even peeled it off. Because after so long...
I see. Okay, so the correction tape you're talking about is over a scanner. Kind of like when you go to the store or something and you scan your groceries in the barcode.
Yes.
He was covering that up.
Yes, he was also peeled the whiting off, because after so many ballots go through, it's going to get crumbled up. It's only it's sticky. It's tape. Okay. It's correction tape. So he would peel that off, like scratch it on off, and peel it. It would be wrinkled up, and he would do like this to it, and then he would take another piece of the white tape, look around, and slide it on in there, right under that reader, and put the same exact balance in again.
You saw him do this?
I saw him do this.
Do you know his name?
I do not know the man's name. They was not showing identification. They had their badges turned to the other side, which is the opposite way where they're supposed to shop.
So correction tape man, can you describe him to us?
He was tall, white, and his hair looked a little bit like yours, a little gray, a little dark. And he was supposed to be, he looked like he was the maintenance of the tabulators.
And how tall do you think he was?
So I am 5'8.5". He looked like he was a baby, about just a little bit taller than me. He was a slim guy.
How tall are you?
I'm 5'7".
He's taller than him.
Okay, how tall are you?
5'9".
He's a little bit taller than him.
Okay.
Maybe or his height.
About 6'2".
You're about a little bit shorter than you. Might come up to the bottom of your eyes.
He's about 6 feet.
Okay.
And he was slim.
Age?
So
His age approximately?
I'm 48 and I look young, so I couldn't tell you. He could have been, I'll say, between 40s and 50s, or maybe 60s. Just look, whatever. But
you said pretty skinny.
He was slim. He wasn't skinny, but he was slim. He wasn't big. He wasn't, he was slim.
What was he wearing?
He had a jacket on, and if I'm not mistaken, he might have even had a cap on. But he was the one over there spraying it down. I'm talking about spraying all up in there. And I saw a stack of, well, not a stack of, but the front page of said Republican Party, and they did not put those through. They left those to the side.
Did he have the correction tape with him the whole
He
time?
walked around, other witnesses observed him walking around with correction tape, and it makes sense now because I actually saw him putting it in there.
And you said your friend Linda Sawyer saw him.
Linda Sawyer,
And do you know their
Cheryl
names?
Constantina. You're gonna get some witnesses that we have not even talked to each other yet.
Yeah.
We have they can't believe like all these people have the same allegations. All of us cannot be not telling the truth.
You said Cheryl Constantina.
Cheryl Constantina, Linda Sawyer, three other ladies was with us. I don't know their names because I had just met them that night.
Sure.
But I was trained by Cheryl Constantina. She's the chairperson of the Michigan GOP in Grosse Points.
How many tabulator machines were there?
So I only witnessed one tabulator machine there because that was my focus once I saw him working on it.
Sure. Okay. But you saw him roaming to all the other ones as well.
I saw him at this particular one, just kept on doing stuff to that one. And he was on that one for like in front of me, a good 30 to 40 minutes.
Was there anybody else who you saw with correction tape other than him?
We just saw just one person walking around with correction tape all night.
And that was this guy.
That was him.
But were you mainly in one area, or were you kind of roaming around the whole?
I was
roaming around?
mainly in the one area watching 123 and 120, and we had another lady named Linda was going around. She saw things, she put it in. She actually was able to put challenges in. I got the training to do that, but I had to stay focused and make my notes.
Do you think there's any other possible reason you would put correction tape inside a tabulator machine?
The only reason for putting the correction tape is to either override the system or to not let the numbers that Donald Trump had coming in show. I mean, it was tons of them. Every table had either a red straight ticket circled in it or it had Donald J. Trump's name circled in it.
For the tabulator machine that you observed, did it have correction tape the entire night?
Well, I can't tell you what was in there for the entire night.
Well, the times that you
Yeah,
were
when
there.
I was there, it was already some in there, and I saw him peel that out, and then I saw him place it back in there. I'm thinking it's part of the machine because the part in there is white in the machine.
Before, when you described it, you said he looked around.
Yes, he would look around, and he
What did
placed-
you interpret that look around to mean?
to find out and see if anybody's watching him. And when he turned around and looked around, I would play it off and look around myself.